And if you knew, how do you do? Okay, y'all. So, let's just jump right into it. Being a Black woman in the workforce is absolutely ridiculous. The stereotypes are crazy. And let me elaborate on why I say that. So, I had a supervisors meeting last week. And when I came into work today, I was told, I'm super proud of you for the way that you handled yourself. I was expecting you to react in a certain manner, like cursing, being upset, knocking things over, storming out. And I was just like, but why? But why? Why would you expect me to do that? Now, I had a side conversation, with DeAndre and my mom and Angel, and they were just saying how passionate I am about my work and how passionate I am about the things that I do, how that could come across. But still, how do you just assume that someone's going to react in such a crazy manner and explode and just be so catastrophic inside of the office environment? And not only that, the fact that the person that I was talking to was another person of color, so they already know the stereotypes that are placed into the workforce by white people about Black people. Like, damn, G. Expect me to be able to carry myself with some sort of dignity and respect, not only for myself, but for you as well. Like, no. So after I had that conversation with that person, my human resources lady, she called me. She's an older Black woman, and she was like, she told me how she was proud of me as well, and just saying, there's not a lot of Black women in our company, nor are there a lot of Black women that hold the role and title that I hold, and that this is new. So she ultimately was like, you're the Black girl that we see, you're the face, and you'll be the reason that another Black girl gets this position. And I'm like, wow, that's heavy. It's heavy. It's the truth. It really is. I dictate what moves forward and how I move forward, but I can't speak for everybody and how they do. What do you say, Ma? Is that right? Or am I wrong? Am I right or am I wrong? Am I right or am I wrong? Am I right or wrong?
You're very on point.
I'm right or wrong. Like, I can't dictate, how the next African American young lady will come in and
Nor should you.
And do it, nor should I have to, but that's how we're viewed. And it's crazy to me how a white person can act a I almost cussed, a gosh darn fool. And they don't view the next white male to act a gosh darn fool, or the next white female to act a gosh darn fool, but they're so guarded when it comes to putting an African American woman in that position.
They isolate those situations.
And they do.
Isolated situations.
They do. They isolate those situations. And for us, they say, oh, every one of you does it. And that's not true. Now, just because Lil Neek Neek didn't have an attitude and cussed all y'all out in here, doesn't mean that Aaron's going to do the same. We're two different people. And I don't understand why our situations can be isolated. Now, me and Mama have the conversation all the time that there is a double standard, which, there is, as a lot of people say that they don't see color. A lot of people say they don't see a double standard, but there's one set of rules for white people, and there's another set of rules for people of color. Meaning Native American, Latino, African American, Asian. Sometimes Asians are considered white. It just really depends.
There's subcultures within culture.
Yes, there are subcultures within cultures, but it just baffles me and is mind-blowing to me that no one sees it. Like, in this company it's 25 years old. The company is 25 years old. It's the same age as me. I am the first African American woman that they've had in a marketing role, in a lead marketing role. It makes absolutely no sense to me how I'm still being compared to other people that are within our community, or within my company, that act a goddamn fool. Like, I feel like if you know me, you know that I am very passionate whenever it comes to voicing my opinion. But for me, how do I say this? For me, my reputation means a lot. You know, it really means a lot to me. And the growth that I've done, it means a lot to me. Now, back in the day, I used to explode. This is true. This, hands down, this is true. That I couldn't always hold my tongue. But now that I'm at a place where I've grown and I'm able to hold my tongue and be mature in a situation, I don't expect you to pat me on the back for being mature and saying that I didn't explode. I want this to be like, okay, yeah, that's the way that she responds, not continuously trying to poke her to see how can I get her to respond in this way, or using those what do you call them, what words, using those you know, the provoking words,
yeah,
using provoking
baiting
words or baiting words, you know, like, why is it when I don't give you the reaction that you want as a Black woman in this environment, that you continuously poke and prod to figure out what will make me tick? And then once you find that, you keep picking at it until we just flip the fuck out. And then you're looking at us like, I can't believe, oh my goodness. No, you know what you was doing. You know what you were doing. You know how you did it. And now we have to figure out how to pick up those pieces, and how either I'm fired or I'm on probation, or now we got to go to some type of counseling or something for like the group, you know. I don't know, y'all. Being a Black woman, it's hard. It's hard to authentically be yourself in the workplace. Like, it is truly hard.
No, not in the workplace, in life.
In life, yeah, well, true, in life.
In life.
In life. But this whole thing is about the workplace.
Okay.
But I mean, in life, if I'm gonna be completely honest,
life includes work.
This is true. Like, just being a Black woman, man. Even the stereotypes that Black men have against Black women, like, oh, I'm not gonna date a Black woman because they yell and they nag and they're naggy. Like, what? You're telling me the whole reason that you don't date a Black woman is because they're naggy? Or the fact that we're treated differently because you feel as though we're volatile. Is that the word? Is that how I use that? Mm-hmm. Volatile? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Your girl, you listen, okay?
But you create that volatile space and then expect someone not to respond or reciprocate the same way that you have given. You get upset when you get what you get.
This is true.
So you give it and you get upset that you get what you give. So then what? What do you want us to do? And it's a scary balance that Black women and Black men and other people of color, but specifically Black women, have to balance in the workplace.
This is true.
Because we are not protected.
This is true.
We're constantly having to protect others, even sacrificing ourselves to protect others.
Yes.
We're constantly protecting others. And in the workplace, we have to create a balance. We have to flip and flip and flip and squeeze and
try and fit that mold that they want you to be
and it's
in.
just ridiculous,
yeah,
how they may want us to be able to do that. And it's even sadder that our own counterparts, our own allies, our own people of color want us to bend and flip and all this kind of stuff and contort ourselves into this craziness. But no,
just like we were talking about the other day, the make it enough moment, where if you don't have enough as a Black woman, they tell you to make it enough.
Because we've always had to, since we've gotten stolen and dragged over here. But even in our own culture, we don't want to make it enough. We've been forced to and had to. How am I going to make fire? I don't want to make fire.
Like how I slid it over to you. I mean, because if you go,
but I'll need more. I'm gonna have to make what I have. So if I gotta put some rocks together, some twigs together, or do whatever I have to, I'm gonna survive. Yeah. And it's constant survival mode, and it's a headache. What is that when you have to
insanity?
No, it's
doing
not
the same
insanity.
Thing over and over
not
again?
Insanity. But when you I forgot the wording. But your language is different from when you go from one place to another.
A language barrier?
No, it's not a language barrier, but your pronunciation, how you speak. If I speak like I'm educated, which I should, but then I have flavor to it. I'm with people of other women of other colors, and then when I get around white counterparts, I
code switching,
yeah, that's it. Now get that out of my face.
You didn't even finish what you were saying. You said code switching. Now get that out. You didn't even finish your thought.
No, what I'm saying is that black women have had, and people of color, but specifically black women have had to create balance with this code switching. We've had to. We are the originators of these news broadcasters. So you hear these news broadcasters and they have their news anchor voice. Well, black women been having that voice forever and a decade. I can even say, you stole it from us. You code switched from us. We invented code switching for survival.
This is true.
If you don't know the language, of course you adapt, but then again you fall back to your own culture. So if I say things that are quote unquote not appropriate for the workplace, but then all of a sudden when I'm comfortable, I want to be able to express myself.
Yeah.
And who makes that standard?
This is true.
Who specifies the standard of what the workplace is supposed to look like? What our hair is supposed to look like? What our clothes supposed to look like? I can wear the same dress as any of my colleagues because the way my body is built. Because I have shape.
Yep.
And I have fullness.
Now
all of a sudden it's the issue. So it's just a lot that we have to kind of deal with. And that's why a lot of times we just don't say nothing.
This is true. But the amount of not saying anything, it builds up and it builds up and it builds up.
No, I mean, we just don't say nothing to them.
Oh yeah, this is true.
We have our own groups of people. We have our mothers and our sisters, and then we have our sister friends, and we have our group chats, and we have our church affiliations. We do that. We have those kind of conversations so it doesn't build up and volcano over. It doesn't erupt. But the terminology postal, just like in today's climate, you better be glad our asking is for our fair share, because we could have been and went crazy on folks. I mean, literally, not just at our neighborhoods, but y'all neighborhoods on fire too. But what is even more sadder is that when your own kind turns against you, and when they belittle you, and when they make you feel insufficient or inferior or whatever the case may be, and then try to, but that's none but that shuck and drive kind of stuff either way.
This
ain't nothing but shucking and jiving. So don't tell me that you sitting up here being my friend or my foe, and you're not.
You're nothing but a wolf in sheep's clothing.
A wolf in sheep's clothing. So get it out of your face.
Okay, I get it out your face. Get it out of your face. But no. So ultimately, just trying to be a black woman or a woman of color in today's society is just doing the best that you can.
That's all you can do.
And sometimes to some people it may not be good enough, but just know if you are trying your best, it's good enough.
You dictate the peace in your life.
This is
you dictate the stress in your life. You dictate that. It's only you who will depict what kind of stress you want, and you will depict what kind of peace you want in your house.
Yeah.
So that's up to you.
Yeah.
So no, I'm not gonna be sitting up here getting upset or whatever because somebody wants to sit up there and make me upset. No, I'm not gonna be like that. So I know that when I go into this place, it's kind of like saying everywhere that you walk, I am going to be at peace with it.
Yeah.
So, and that only happens for a lot of people when they get older. You get older and like, okay, look here, I'm not gonna, and my daddy said this all the time, I ain't gonna let these white folks bother me. I ain't gonna let these crazy white folks bother me. I'm not gonna let these people bother me. And it's because as you get older, you're like, what for? What you want to see me shucking and jive for you? You want to see me put on a minstrel show? You want to see me put on a show for you? You put on a show for me. How about that? You come to me and you ask me how I'm doing. I say I'm doing fine. And then you ask me more questions and I say, do you not have anything else that you need to do?
This is true.
And I just flip the switch. Do you not have any work to do?
This is true.
And if you're so concerned about my feelings and what I'm doing, then maybe there's some things that you're internalizing that you need to go and work on and focus on. Have you reached out to your local EPA? employees EAP, employees assistance program for counseling. If you're so concerned,
you can't say that.
Yes, you can. At this age, yes, you can. At your age, yes, you can too. Why are you so consumed with me? You're making me uncomfortable. Because I've always told my daughter, you don't have to like everybody.
This is true.
Be cordial.
This is true.
You know, who says you have to like people? Be cordial.
But you also made this statement, like, when you're cordial, that's it. It's a hello, goodbye. Any additional conversation doesn't need to happen unless it's about work.
No, and you have to prove to me that you are worth being trusted. I'm not going to just trust you off the gate. I'm not going to. You have to show me and prove. And even in your seasons, I can be like, oh, and I've always told my daughter, I said, I've never sit there and say, oh, she couldn't do this or she would never do this. No, that's crazy, folks. That's crazy talk. No, you have to prove. And that's the same thing that applies with work relationships. When you start a new job, if you've been there, you have to know the temperament. You have to know yourself. And you always say, don't you say, wait 30 days? 30 days or 60 days? No. So with each job, it takes a person at least 90 days to get the temperament of any job and to know what you're supposed to do. And it takes you 6 months to actually be able to flow in that temperament. And then a full year to say, okay, I think I may have my bearings. But even within a year, you really don't know. So 90 days to kind of get the feel, the temperament. And that means that you're at work. You're doing what you're supposed to do. You're socializing where you're supposed to socialize, you know. And then in 6 months, you kind of get, okay, I'm getting a better understanding. And then you get your own sense of flow about what you want to do. But it takes a year. And that same thing with work relationships or any relationships. If I spend a dedicated 6 months to a year being in your presence, being in your seasons, then I get a better understanding. Do I fully know you? No, but I get a better understanding if I'm going to stay or not.
Yeah.
So your first 90 days on the job, you're just getting a feel of what but it goes back to any place. Before you had 90 days before they would grant you benefits.
This is true.
Because they didn't know if you were going to stay or not.
This is true.
So they wanted to get a better understanding if you're going to stay. And then within 6 months, that's when somebody could possibly get a promotion or something within that year, that quarterly year. They're looking at, raises and things like that. So no, for the first 90 days, I'm trying to peep out what's going on. And even with that, follow your guts. If your gut or the inner spirit tells you hush. If it tells you to share. Even if you're like, I don't know if I should. If it's prompting you to tell you to share. Didn't I tell you I had a thought about Marshawn Lynch?
Oh my God.
And I did. Kept on resonating in my spirit. And now this casually said to you, I've been thinking about who?
Marshawn Lynch.
And who was you thinking about too?
Marshawn Lynch. I had a dream about Marshawn Lynch.
And it's not like it works like that, but that's just how it should go. If you know, wait a minute, this doesn't seem right, then it's probably not right. If you know before you send off that email or say something to somebody, my philosophy is think. Think again. And think again.
No, you say think one more time, and then you be like,
say it out loud. And see how it sounds, not only to you, but then find somebody that you're confident in and your sounding board and say it to them. And then go. It's therapeutic to write stuff out that you may want to say to people or do whatever. It's very therapeutic. But don't send that email. Don't send that text message. Because what you can't get back is what? Words and time. So no, because you never know what kind of relationship can develop later on. You may start off rocky and get smooth, or you may start off smooth and get rocky. You don't know. But as far as with the workplace is concerned, you take it just like anything else. 90 days, 6 months to a year. You don't overexert yourself. You don't overcompensate for nobody else. You do what you're supposed to do and go on about your business. And then you dictate your stress and your peace in all of environments of your life. You dictate that. Now come on, get this on my face and go.
Anywho, so y'all, as you can see, my madre is here dropping amazing gems on our car ride. Y'all, I truly appreciate you for listening. I want you guys to have a great day or a great night, berries. Make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, and we out, son.